Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video, as I promised, we'll be doing the Docker section of FastAPI, the 19-hour video. And today was, let's just say, a busy day. I was not able to record as much, do as much, but we don't make excuses. We just gotta do what we gotta do. And yeah, today we're gonna do the Docker section for the API, which is quite fun because for the past 2 videos or 3 videos I've been writing tests, which has significantly decreased my lifespan. So again, we have 1980s vaporwave because there's nothing better than that, and brown noise. And yeah, let's get started. So this is was the testing. Let me just decrease the sound just a little bit. You don't want it to be too overpowering, right? So something in the middle that works. And the Docker section is quite small, to be very honest with you. Like it's pretty much this section, which is roughly half an hour, but it's something better than anything. So let's just go to Docker. Okay, guys, just give me 2 minutes. Let me just turn on my Postman for my local host, and I'll be back. Yep, we are back. So now I've turned on the Postman, and I've turned on my server, which is at this. Let's just start by getting the post. We get an empty post, which is interesting to say the least, because okay, gives me the access token. Look at the latest post. I think I deleted all the posts, but anyhow, that's working. Let's get right to this. Okay, because yeah, we need Python. Cause तो दूसरा वाला क्या किस चीज़ का था? ये किस चीज़ का है? Okay, those both things are pretty much replaceable. So yeah, this is around 1 billion. Crazy. Yeah. So wow. Hmm. Create a Docker file in your from Python 3 work directory. Is this? This is some scripting language. If I'm correct. Okay. Oh, okay, that's simple. So I could do something like Python version. Okay, so mine is 3.13. So I think we'll use that. 3.13.5. Interesting. Hey, uh, hmm. So I'm running with something like runtime Python select interpreter. So yeah, you see this is our interpreter. This is हम लोग के तो folder में है. I have one 3.12 and 3.3, but right now we're using the one in our virtual environment, so to speak. And yeah, so it's 3.1, 3.5. What do all of this mean? That's so confusing. Docker image for Python version 3.13. The is um है ही तो नहीं. Where do I search? Is okay. I'm 3.1, 3.1, 3.5. है ही नहीं. But okay. So okay, I'm just gonna look at the video. So yeah, I'm wasting my time. So the I've learned the theory of Docker, which kind of is kind of cringe to say, but it essentially containerizes your project so that you just have this Docker image which you run, and it forms this running instance of the image, which is your Docker container, right? Which is Docker container is a running instance of your Docker image, right? Docker container is a running instance of your Docker image. Yes, exactly. Yeah, okay. So it's pretty much like a class and object. You think. So according to this, I could pretty much just say full explicit targets the I think I would just use this to be honest. Okay. Yeah. I don't have autocomplete, which is making me angry. So I will obviously go and check if we have any Docker, because I think moving forward we'll have to use Docker. And so makes it easy to create and um sure. I mean, let's go Docker. I'm assuming we also have a Kubernetes. Kubernetes, yeah, we do have Kubernetes. Okay, So, oh wow, we have a container now, which is interesting. So as you can see, fail to connect. Is Docker running? Oh, Docker is not running. Sorry. Yeah, again, this is an issue saying what? Yeah, okay. This is where I will need ChatGPT to guide me through the depths of this. So I am pulling. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, close that. In my Docker file as a base image, and then I do work the what is this and why do I do this? Explain me with. Okay, so now this will just think of Docker image as a blueprint for your computer. Your Docker file tells Docker how to build that blueprint. Um, this tells Docker start with an existing image that already has instead of building an operating system and install building operating system. Contains Python pip. Okay, so it's your container already has. Okay, so work done. Whenever you run commands after this point, pretend you're inside this folder. Docker creates the folder if it doesn't exist. Now every command runs from app cd. Okay, okay, interesting. Um, hmm, okay, hmm. So it essentially copies. Okay, run pwd. Um, so if this is my folder structure and for my fast API backend, what should I keep on? So okay, so it basically moves it over there, but I cannot also not have it. Um, I mean, to be honest, I would say backend server for posts, right? Given your project, the most common choice, notice the app is inside the container, not your. Notice that the app is here inside the container, not your local. This is why beginners get confused. Your local machine, um, inside the container, initially after file system looks like this. Okay, then creates a brand new directory this then app is not faster it's simply directly in a container place then you can typically do this. Okay, 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 so so if I do work dir app, right, something, okay, this is Linux I'm using, so app. Okay, so now this creates, and then I can do copy that this. Okay, so this says copy अभी का जो भी current है into the current folder of the container. So I could think of the container as a VM essentially, and so we are basically installing this into our VM. We create a directory app, right? So xcali draw is gonna get a shout out right now. So pretty much it's a VM, right? We create a folder app, and we go inside this, and then from our code we say, okay, whatever this is, put all of this psyche, that app, um, env, all those things over here. Okay, interesting. Okay, but I don't have to do this, right? Technically, do I have to do this? I mean, chalo, theek hai, I'll do it. Let's put it over here. Let's put it over here. I mean, if it's saying it, if the doc is saying it, then why not? And okay, this is essentially just copying the requirements.txt of is there into the current directory, and then it runs run pip install no cache dir. After installing, then it copies everything else. Okay, I'm gonna uh. So what does dash dash no that cache mean? There's install the package, but don't save a local copy of the download. Normally, when you install, pip does two things: downloads the package, stores a copy in its cache. The next time you install the same package, yeah, okay, okay, makes sense, makes sense, or that makes sense, yeah, because you'll be running it, you won't be running. Okay, so no cache dir r requirements.txt copy dir. That's right, but the thing is your requirements.txt. Okay, that is true. Your requirements.txt, and I've heard this advice being done that the put the things that are very rarely being changed on the very top of the Docker file, and then the things that do change a lot at the bottom, so that it doesn't hinder with the optimization. But I would go as far to say that your requirements.txt will change slightly, but it does change. The biggest one here is okay. Docker builds one instruction at a time. Suppose you have Docker doesn't execute this as one. Instead, it creates a new layer after. So we have layer one. We have this. Think of it like imagine you run this. Docker has never seen this, so it executes everything. Okay, from Python takes that instant does take a long time. Docker then stores every second build. Suppose you only change this, nothing changeable. Docker asks from Python change no, reuse cache layer. Change no, no data change no. Can Docker use this? Yes, because the previous layer didn't change the package are downloaded. Your source code change Docker says cannot use it. So since layer 5 changed, layer 6 must also be rebuilt. Instead of taking 60 seconds, it now takes 3 seconds. Why not copy everything at first? Suppose you wrote this. Looks fine, but now what happens? You change this, Docker reaches this. Since your project changed, the layer change, that means it must run again every single time, even though. So again, this is what separate requirements. Okay, so every time since your project changed, this layer change um, looks fine. So after the layer, so when Docker encounters the first layer that has changed, then all the layers beneath it will be executed um, regardless of it being changed or not. Is this right? So if it encounters the first changing, so each layer depends on result of the previous layer. If layer change, the Docker cannot no longer because they're built on top. Makes sense. Okay, okay. So I could do something like CMD, and I can do fast API. क्या करता क्या हूँ मैं? I do something like, wait, close this. I do fast API dev, and then like I don't know what the Linux equivalent is. So I would do fast API dev app main. Yeah, so yeah, I do something like app main.py, right? Something like that, because that's what I do over here also. Close this. How do I clear this chat? Okay, fast API dev app main, right? And the Linux equivalent is fast API dev app main.py, right? Fast API. So when I do cmd fast API dev app main.py, then what is post and port I need to specify in the cmd command? It's pretty much like, it's interesting. This is one of the most important. Suppose Docker files. Um, Wait, also this will be run. This won't be run. This will be something that's like weird. Host port. Let's understand. Port is like a door to a program. Imagine a computer as a hotel. Okay, that makes sense. Mm, um, okay, makes sense. I will learn networking this semester, so I'm looking forward to what we can learn holistically. Okay. Oh wow. And it went to that. Yeah, so Docker says like I can't like trust if this layer has changed. I don't know for a fact that overall will change UI. So we just have, Okay, where is it? What the hell? Fail to connect to the Docker API and check if the path is correct if the daemon is running open. Okay, I have the Docker engine has to be turned on. Yeah, Docker desktop has to be turned on. Um, People say, oh well, Docker is not a VM, not a VM. Yes, it is a VM. On a Windows computer, because Docker runs on Linux system calls, right? And your Windows is not Linux. So it has to run a very small VM on Windows to actually work. So people who say, oh well, like Docker is not a VM. I mean, sure it's not, but on a Windows it does need a small VM to work. And why is my Docker not opening? Is this something wrong, Docker engine? I have Docker desktop. Why is it not opening? What is it? Because my system is overloaded beyond. Let me just um turn off tabs. I guess if that helps. Okay, it's not opening. What's happening? Interesting. It's not even being shown on the task manager. Can you turn on, bro? God, guys, let me just check this. See why it's not working and get back to you. Welcome back. So finally Docker desktop worked for me. Apparently I had to update my WSL, which was the reason why it was not turning up, but that now it's up. The engine will start soon, and I guess we'll be able to containerize our application once and for all. So yeah, so I guess we were over here, and I think the last command we wanted to run was this, which would give our container and the name as first build, and it would find the Docker image for this. This is technically not a Docker image. This is just the instruction of what to do. Is this thing on? Uh, Info. Okay. How do I know? How do I know if Docker engine is running? I see. Um. Yes, it's Docker info. Actually, okay. Docker info. Okay, I'm assuming this means that it's running. I guess. Okay, Docker info. Okay, so it's running. Yes, it's running. Great. Um, yeah, so I think we can, you know, run this. And now it's building. Okay, let's see what the issue is. Okay, so okay, fail to build, fail to solve, fail to read Docker file, open Docker file, no such file or directory. View build details. Yeah, sure, buddy. What's the issue? Uh, that is interesting. Yeah, because we do have a Docker file. Okay, I don't know why I have my lead code open. Crazy. Yeah, what's Docker file? Yeah, I mean, am I doing something like okay, the F is small. I like कुछ तो गलती किया हुआ है. Yeah, okay, okay, okay. So you see, loading this and transferring context is some SHA 256. Um, let's go back. Let's go to builds. Let's go to containers. See how many containers, no containers found. My laptop is crying for help. Why so many Docker images? Okay, so this is just building it, I guess. Cool. Um, I think we should have gone for the slim version. For Python 3.1, 3.5 slim. Right, but if I change it, then yeah, the whole thing will just start running. I mean, this will take all over, right? Wow, that this is huge, bro. What the hell is this? That's crazy. That is huge. I guess I won't torture you guys by looking at this thing. I will come back when this is done and I'll show you what it is. Okay, guys, we're back again. My laptop was screaming to kill itself, but now it's fine. Like now I can see that it has pretty much done the heavy lifting of downloading and all that, and now I can clearly see it's running pip installed and stuff. So as you can see, it runs the pip install and view build details on this. Okay, so let's see what we are. Okay, so more source location. Wait, how does that know that? That's scary. But yeah, so this is what it did, and yeah, so cool. Wow, this is quite cool. Um, yeah, okay, so I think our image is created from the instruction. Docker image ls. Interesting. So go to Docker image ls. Oh, I had the nginx also. Um, how do I delete? Oh my god, Christ, what the hell? Okay. Um, I think the okay. I'll just gonna delete it. How to delete Docker image? YSD Windows. Yeah. So I think I was just gonna delete that. Okay, Docker RMI. I think I can remove it. Containers. Okay, images, so to speak. Yeah. Yeah. We what in use? Whom? Delete goes. Delete whatever. What do you mean? Who's using this? Okay, I'm not gonna play around. I'm not. I don't even know Docker. I'm gonna play around. Okay. We can see all of our Docker. Oh, I guess I'm running low on time. I have to go sleep. Sad. It's sad. I spent a lot of time actually just learning the theory because I just want to know how it works. And a good chunk of my time went on actually making Docker desktop run, which is again kind of sad. But so be it. We'll learn from it. Tomorrow hopefully we'll hopefully get along with getting Docker up and running and actually just do git status, git add a Docker file. Now Docker post. Okay, so now tomorrow morning, we'll just get the Docker section done and maybe learn about Docker a bit more because I like Docker. I like what it's doing. And yeah, and I think maybe complete the JetBrains Academy Golang, which I made a video on previously. And yeah, I think that's what's gonna be. And thanks for tuning in for another late night session. See you till then. Bye bye.